This will be a video about changing a carburetor on a Briggs & Stratton 300E series. That is the part number. I bought it as a kit. It comes with spark plugs, filter, carburetor, air cleaner, hose. That's what I'm going to replace. And gaskets. Easier to do it this way because you're going to have it off anyway, and it's right behind there. As you can see, this one doesn't have a fuel filter, just has the line. This looks good. This is the primer, and it's going to take these two bolts off. We'll take this cover off here, and then we'll see if I have to take this off or not. I don't think I have to. And then we have another bolt here, which looks like that has to come off. So possibly looking at 1, 2, 3 bolts right there. That is the model number for the lawnmower. It is a Hyper Tough. For some reason, this one and this one are the same size. This is a small thing. That's a 7mm. But I don't know why they do that. So let me take this off here. This is a 2016 lawnmower, and the reason that I'm changing this is because it's doing a rev, going like high and low revs, which usually means bad gas or a dirty carburetor on a lawnmower. I've already changed the plugs on it. I think what happened with this here is that this sat longer than what I wanted to sit in the garage because of the freeze without being used. So it's possibly the gas went bad, even though I used the protecting thing to put in there. But these carburetors are known, and maybe I'll take it apart while I have it here, to get dirty. This little injecting part here gets dirty, and I'll show you. Looks like I got to take the 3 screws here to get this cover off, unfortunately. Already changed this already, but the good thing is I don't have to worry about recoiling this or anything. So let me get this cover off here. It's hard for me to get this out, so that's why I had to take off this cover. This carburetor is not screwed in. It's pushed in with that seal. So that seal would lock it in. And then these bolts here is what keeps the carburetor in there. I could have pulled it out, but I'm having a hard time getting this off, this fuel hose off. So now I can get it off. I'm going to replace it with the new one. This is where the oil flows through here, from the engine, the heat of it. So I got it out, and then I got to disconnect this, and then it should be all out. And again, I'm doing it. Let me get the hose off to make it quicker, because that'll slide it out right there. Okay, that's what I missed. There was another bolt there. There was another bolt. So I probably didn't have to take that cover off. But it is what it is. And the reason I'm replacing the whole thing, because I can smell turpentine in here. So you can either clean this. It's very easy to clean. And we'll take it apart and see. But for what I spent for that was like $20-something. You get a whole kit, spark plug, and all that. So I went with that one, just in case. Because of the position of the carburetor, this has a drain on the bottom, but it's hard to get to because there is no space between there and there. You got to get a hex head, but you got to get a short stubby, which I don't have, okay? This, I think, had bad gas in it because I can smell turpentine. That's how you know you have bad gas. But usually that pin right there gets dirty and clogged, but this looks okay. You take the 2 screws off and you just pop the bottom of it out. It's a real simple technique. If I was to clean that up and put that in, I should have no problem. I don't feel like dealing with that right now, because if I put it back in and it starts doing the same thing, I'm going to get aggravated. So I'm just going to put the new one in there, clean this up, and I'll have a spare carburetor. But when I open this up, some gas came out. So I don't care how much gas you put in your gas tank. If new gas, and there's bad gas here, that new gas will mix with this gas that's holding in here and contaminate it. That's why I was getting the rough idle. It was like, Let me clean this up a little here with some brake cleaner. I got the new spark plug in already, so let me get this area up here with brake cleaner. It's safe to use. It dries out, gets any oil, dirt, and then what I'm gonna do is check the oil, start her up, and hopefully that that revving on and off will go down. So, all right, let's let this dry up here. Don't worry, I got a ton of brake cleaner. Just want to get this whole area clean when I put it in. Okay, I just wanted to show something here. What they gave me is regular hose. This is not fuel line hose. Fuel line hose, it'll say fuel line. If I was to put that hose on here, it'll last for a little bit, like a year or so. But this will last a lifetime. This lasts, so make sure you put fuel line hose. I happen to have some extra hose, so I'm gonna put a new hose there, and you can tell how hard this is where that's just flimsy. That's a good airline hose, windshield washer hose, but not fuel line. Now I'm gonna try to put everything on at the same time. Like I took it off with the gas tank and the thing hooked up together, the carburetor. I'm gonna put it back the same way, because this, if you're just trying to take this off by itself, it is a pain in the butt, because there's no room, and fuel line hose doesn't have the flexibility. All right, first thing I put back is that cable up on top. That's the easiest. And then I already wiped this down around here. This pushes in, like I said, because the screws is what's holding the carburetor into there. And then I'm going to put the gas tank back on. So it'll basically come in like this at the same time. And then getting this lined up right there, because this has to be facing out. Okay, make sure that white thing goes in here. Push this back, and then I got to get the gasket for it. And this comes with the gasket. It comes with 2 gaskets, so always keep them just in case you wear one out. And then I'm gonna screw this plate. That hose goes into there, and then I'm gonna screw everything. And then, like I said, this is what braces that carburetor in there. So let me screw that back. I checked my primer, because they have replaceable things for this. This looks good. All right, she's coming back together again. What I think is that I smelled turpentine in here, or bad gas I smelt in here. It's possibly the gas stood in here. I could have easily probably cleaned this out and put it back. But again, when I bought the kit, it was cheaper just to buy all that. Now this will be a spare one. So if I happen to let the gas go bad, and this one, somehow the gas rotting out down here. But I do use that special thing that you put in the gas to keep it from going bad. But it's a possibility that this gas that sat here could have been longer. Because again, the gas, this will run dry, but there'll still be gas there. And I was just trying to show you how you just can't get in there unless you got a short, stubby Allen to drain that. But let's see. Alrighty. I mean, the other filter is probably okay, but I might as well just put the new one. Alright, getting ready. It's getting ready to go into church mode. And I'll explain to you why I call it church mode. Everything looks good. Everything is back. Let me put the stuff away, and then let's start praying. Okay, check the oil. I wiped the dipstick. Whew. See if I can get it right there. It's a little bit above it. I got to get some oil in here, but it's still runnable. It's not below. It's like in the middle, but still it needs a little bit. So I got to put some oil in here. All right, now the testament. Usually the reason you'll see a lot of lawnmowers in the garbage, 99% of the time, it's the carburetor because there was bad gas in it, or spark plug, just something stupid. If the piston turns, if you pull that thing and it turns, again, spark plug, filter, gas tank just needs to be cleaned out. So now let me pour some gas in here. And the reason I call this church mode is because this is the time where I don't go to church other than when I need God and Jesus right now. It's gonna need a lot of priming because again, I ran it out. I just want to get it running. Then I'm gonna go get some oil and put some oil in it. All right, guys, everyone pray. That's what it's supposed to sound like. I was getting hesitation, no hesitation. So the carburetor definitely was dirty. It had bad gas in it. Again, I could have replaced it. I could have just washed it out, cleaned it all out and replaced it. But again, I had the new one on hand. Both amount of work to take off and put on. I just threw the new one in there. At least I have a spare one in the house. But that's how you keep a lawnmower from 2016 good. Now I just got to remember this winter time to run it. Because even though I put that stuff in the gas here, it still went bad on the bottom. And this is supposed to help you keep your gas good. But because this winter we hardly used it, it sat here longer. The riding lawnmower I kept running, but it sat here longer. So you see a lawnmower in the garbage, pull the string. If that turns, I'm telling you, it's carburetor, gas tank, spark plug, change the oil, you'll have a brand new lawnmower. Till the next one, guys. See ya.